Okay, Jim, so do you have any questions for the audience?
Well, yes, I do. I've got some questions and some comments for the audience. You know, automobile manufacturers are trying harder and harder all the time to make safer vehicles for us. But there are some things that we all can do as well as consumers to protect ourselves. Folks, come on, wear those seat belts. That's the simplest thing you can do to make your life safer and protect your loved ones and yourselves. Those car seats, put them in right. Get good ones. And boy, I got to tell you, another big thing that I've experienced with calls into my office, you have no idea how many accidents where the defendant, the guilty party, the person who caused the accident, however you want to phrase it, was on a cell phone. Man, don't get off those cell phones. I mean, if you're driving on these busy Houston streets in these large cities and you're on that cell phone, you're asking for trouble. I don't care how sharp you think you are. It takes your attention away from your driving. And there's nothing more important while you're on that road driving around in that 5,000-pound missile, that vehicle of yours, nothing more important than paying attention to what you're doing. Stay off those cell phones, wear those seat belts, strap your kids in. You know, nothing would make me happier than for auto accidents to be a thing of the past. I mean, that would be the best thing that you could ever do. And most lawyers that are involved in this business, I feel the same way. They really do. I would rather do something else. If people were not involved in accidents anymore, I'd gladly move on and go into another branch of law with no problem whatsoever. So, like I said, there are things you can do to protect yourselves. How many of you out there have had a close call or a brush with an 18-wheeler? You know, again, when you're around those big old trucks, you need to be careful. I mean, pay extra attention when you're around them. Driving and navigating one of those big vehicles down the road is not an easy job. And the men and women who drive those trucks, as a rule, I think do the best they can to keep those big rascals out of your way and keep from running people over. But a lot of times there's safety problems with those vehicles. I mean, we have an entire police division here in Houston dedicated to patrolling 18-wheelers and large trucks. And when they pull those folks over, they find at least one violation every time, and many times several violations. And the police, they're doing the best they can to keep the roads safe. And I think that the drivers of those trucks are doing the best they can to keep themselves safe as well.
I think that's information that all of us can use. Any other thoughts about the legal profession you want to share with us?
Well, yes, Grace, I have a couple of things I'd like to add, I guess, in closing. You know, folks, lawyers are there to assist you and protect you, and that's what we do day in and day out. You know, and doctors, I mean, and teachers and firemen and our police officers. It's, you know, a lot of people in all of these professions right now are taking a black eye, and we're all here to protect you all. And you know, it's just an odd thing to me. For example, here's just for an example, that a family of four will go to a basketball game or a football game or even a baseball game and spend $400 that evening on entertainment, but when they go to the doctor, they'll complain all the way home about paying a $15 copay. It's just not fair. It just doesn't make any sense. We're holding entertainment people and sports people in such high esteem, and yet our professional class seems to be taking a black eye these days. And it's the very people that we depend on and our families depend on for support. And it's not fair. Lawyers spend years in education and hundreds of thousands of dollars in an effort to help folks, yet every time you turn around, there's a politician blasting away at lawyers. And it's about time that we understand that the professional class in this country deserves a little more respect and a little more of our attention. You know, the teachers, the doctors, the policemen, the firemen, and the lawyers. Those are the people you call when you're in trouble. And I think it's time for us to appreciate that group of people again.
And with that, I think we answer the question that we started the show with. Are lawyers our friend or foe? Well, when we need help, lawyers certainly become our friends, don't they? Because they're the ones who can bring the help that we need so desperately.
I like to think so, and I'd like to think that I'm helping people, and I know that my colleagues are helping folks as well. Yeah, I would agree with you. Lawyers really are our friends.
So James Walker, thanks very much for joining us today.
Grace.
We appreciate it, Jim.
Take care.